So there I was walking through town, taking some pictures, and just my luck, it starts to rain. But it's not all bad news, because with rain often comes puddles, and these are going to give me a great opportunity to take a creative shot of this wonderful wall art. Now, I need to get down quite low for this shot to get the reflection and a bit of the actual wall in as well. So all the way down here, and I'm in my phone's wide-angled lens to try and get as much as possible. I'm just trying to get down as low as I can to the ground here, just to see what the reflections look like when we're up close, because it is a bit trial and error, particularly with reflections. You never quite know what reflection you're going to get until you get down into position. So the first bit of composition I'm going to try and do, and I don't know if it's going to work the best or not, is that I've got some of the cobblestones across the bottom there. I've got the reflection of the wall painting in the main body, and then kind of equal really in terms of how it consumes the frame to the bottom is the wall on the top half there. So let's focus and tap. Okay, let's try something else. How about I get right here? Okay, right, so this is interesting. So if I get right in, I start to lose the actual wall itself, and I just see the reflection. I'm thinking that I might be able to play around with this shot, maybe rotate it and mirror image it, and I might be able to fool my viewer into thinking that they aren't looking at a reflection at all. That might be a bit of fun. Let's just try one more, and by cutting out, here we go, maybe this, by cutting out the cobbles in the foreground and trying to line, just come up a little bit, trying to line this center line here in the middle of my frame. Maybe that's it. Actually, that is probably it there. That's another interesting composition. We've got a few options there. As I say, with reflections, it's quite difficult to tell. I've no idea which one of these are going to work, but it's going to be fun finding out. The first thing I think of when I look at this picture is a tip that I often share, and that is when you're using a wide-angled lens on your phone, make sure you don't get your fingers in the shot. Sadly for me, that's exactly what I've failed to do, and across the top of this shot here, we can see my finger spoiling it. So yeah, a bit of a fail there, but otherwise, this is part of a journey that I'm really happy with. I can see the original wall art there, I can see the reflection of it. Because of the angle, I can see a bit of the cobbled street beneath it. So while it's not quite the final image I was hoping for, it gives me hope that there is going to be the right shot in there. This image I find really interesting, but just a little bit dissatisfactory, and I'll tell you why. Again, we've got this original wall, the actual real life wall at the top, and we've got this very strong line of road markings across the third line, the top third line, and the reflection renders really nicely, but we're missing something at the bottom for me, and it feels though all the colours are about to fall out the bottom of the frame. And you know, maybe if you're looking for something that is a bit uncomfortable, this might be for you, but I think there's something else in there. One thing I would say though is that the road markings, the yellows of these double yellow lines really fit in with the palette of the yellow and the orange in the wall art, and that just makes it all feel very complementary. This is what I'm talking about, and it's actually surprised me how well this shot has come out. So what I've done is I have popped this into the editor on the phone, and I've rotated it 180 degrees, and I've also mirror imaged it as well. And the effect that this had, which is really what I hoped it would have, is that as a viewer, you don't know that you're looking at a reflection. You maybe have a hunch that something's not right, but it's not obvious that it's a reflected image you're looking at. It's the sky across the top that really, I guess, creates the frame that mirrors the yellow line on the bottom, but there's just something about the reflected quality that makes it feel magical, mystical, and that fits in with the swirling rainbow colours and the writing in the middle. This is not a shot that you could have got with your phone looking at the original subject. You could only have got this were you shooting a reflection, and that is just everything I wanted from this shot and more.